The year is coming to a close. Everywhere we look, we see summaries. People share their best moments, promotions, trips, perfect relationships. We see lists of goals achieved and mountains climbed. But for many of us, looking back doesn't feel like a victory lap. It feels heavy. Maybe you didn't write that book. Maybe you didn't lose the weight. Maybe you lost a job or a relationship quietly ended. Maybe you feel like you are in the same place you were 12 months ago. There is a quiet sadness that comes at the end of the year. It is the grief of the unlived life, the space between who you hope to be in January and who you are now in December. If you feel this weight, if the year feels like a failure or a waste of time, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Today, let's look at this year through a different lens. Not through productivity, but through transformation. Drawing from the resilience of Stoicism, the acceptance of Buddhism, and the calm beauty of Japanese philosophy, let's explore what this year truly taught you. Because often, the years that feel like failures are the ones that quietly save us. Lesson 1. The plan versus reality. Stoic acceptance. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Do not demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will live well." In January, most of us had a plan. We imagined how the year would unfold. Then life happened. The market changed. People left. Health weakened. Motivation disappeared. When we call this a failure, we are comparing reality to a fantasy. We are upset because life did not follow our script. Stoicism offers another idea, Amor Fati, the love of fate. It means accepting the year exactly as it was, not as we hoped it would be. If you spent months in bed because of illness or depression, those months were not wasted. That was your reality. That was the struggle you had to face. If you tried a business and it failed, do not focus only on the money lost. Look at the wisdom gained. These experiences can be seen as preparation for a future version of you, someone wiser and more resilient than you are today. The lesson is simple, but not easy. You are not in control of outcomes. You are only in control of your character. Did you survive? Are you still here, breathing, thinking, and feeling? If the answer is yes, then you made it through 365 days of uncertainty. That is not nothing. That is strength. Lesson 2. The art of letting go. Buddhist impermanence. Buddhism teaches the idea of anicca or impermanence. Nothing stays the same. Life moves like a river. You can never step into the same river twice. The person you were in January no longer exists. That version is gone. The failures of March are now memories. The heartbreak of August is past. Only the traces remain. So, why does the end of the year feel heavy? Because we carry the weight of the past 11 months with us. We replay awkward conversations. We revisit mistakes. We hold tightly to regrets, hoping they might somehow change what already happened. But the year is over. There is no way to go back and change even 1 second of it. To reflect clearly, we need to practice letting the past go. You can imagine that the version of you who made those mistakes has already done their work. They showed you what didn't work. Now, you can thank them and release them. You are not the person who failed. You are the person who learned. The failure was a lesson. It is not your identity. Let the river keep flowing. Let the year be washed clean. Lesson 3. Wintering. The wisdom of dormancy. In the modern world, we are obsessed with harvest. We expect ourselves to produce all the time, to grow constantly, earn constantly, and feel happy constantly. But nature works differently. Look at the trees outside your window. Do they bloom all year? No. If a tree tried to bloom in winter, it would not survive. Maybe this year felt like a failure because it was your winter. Maybe it was not a time to grow taller, but a time to grow deeper. When you are underground, when you feel sad, lonely, or unsure, you are not broken. You are resting. In the quiet, in the dark, something important is happening. You are processing experiences. You are healing old wounds. You are learning and observing. We need to stop judging ourselves for periods that look unproductive. If this year was about simply getting through each day, that is enough. If it were about recovery and healing, that would be enough. Roots grow in the dark. They are invisible, but they are essential. This year may not have looked impressive from the outside, but it may have built the foundation for who you are becoming. You cannot see the roots, but they are what hold the tree upright. Lesson 4, Golden Repair. Kintsugi. There's a beautiful Japanese art called Kintsugi. When a ceramic bowl breaks, the craftsman does not throw it away. He does not try to hide the cracks. Instead, he repairs them with glue mixed with gold. The cracks are made visible and honored. Because it was broken, the bowl became more beautiful and more valuable. Now, look at the cracks in your year, the rejection you faced, the mistake you made at work, the relationship that ended. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of experience. Because you were rejected, you learned independence. That is the gold. Because you failed at work, you learned humility and found a new direction. That is the gold. Because you were lonely, you learned how to be your own support. That is the gold. A life without mistakes has no texture. It is like a plastic bowl, perfect on the surface, but empty. Your year was real. It was human. It was imperfect. And because of those cracks, you are now wiser, deeper, and more compassionate than someone who has never struggled. Do not hide your cracks. They are part of your story. They are where the light comes in. Lesson 5, Redefining Success. Finally, as we close this chapter, it helps to ask a simple question. What is success really? Society often defines success as numbers, a salary, a follower count, a dress size. But if this year was difficult, you may have learned that these things do not bring comfort when life feels heavy. Maybe success this year was not about conquering the world. Maybe it was getting out of bed on days when giving up felt easier. Maybe it was forgiving someone who never apologized. Maybe it was setting a boundary for the first time. Maybe it was reading a book that changed how you think, or watching a sunset and feeling a brief moment of calm. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius did not seek praise or recognition. He simply tried to be a good person, to act with reason and kindness. If you manage to hold on to your humanity in a difficult world, if you stayed kind despite hardship, if you kept going even when you were exhausted, then you did not fail. You succeeded in the way that matters most. So, as you look back at the calendar, stop counting the empty check boxes. Stop focusing on the goals you didn't reach. Instead, look at the person sitting here right now. You survived 100% of your hardest days. You endured uncertainty. And in this moment, you are choosing to reflect and learn rather than give up. This year was not a detour. It was a path. It was a classroom you needed, teaching you the lessons required for the next chapter of your life. Leave next year to the version of you who will live it. That version will be wiser and more experienced than you are today. Be gentle with yourself. Forgive the version of you who didn't know better at the time. Take the wisdom with you. Leave the regret behind. Step into the new year not with arrogance, but with quiet confidence, the kind that comes from walking to fire and surviving. Thank you for spending this moment in reflection. If this video brought you clarity or peace, please like and subscribe to support the channel. May you find gentle ways to return to awareness and live with a calmer mind. Thank you for watching Daily Wisdom Light.